Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video we are looking at, is your soulmate looking for you? Now, I thought this was a fantastic but unusual question that my spirit guide, specifically my tarot spirit guide, wanted me to focus on today. And I was like, why? I'm curious, why do you put it that way? And they said, we want them to feel more empowered, that you are a master of your own fate, that you can understand that if your soulmate is either not currently in this lifetime, you can create your own soulmate. Soulmates can be created within your lifetime, or if they are not looking for you, you can go find them. And going into a little more detail into all of that jazz. So we will be talking about if they are, they aren't, where to go from there, create, wait, you get the gist. In addition to that, I posted 2 new Patreon videos. One is actually a more detailed informational video about soulmates. And the second one is a very fun story experience I had with, I'm gonna call them like the Council of Crystals. They said they weren't a council, so that's not the official term, but I met them in an underwater cave in the spirit realm, and they are quite important to the role of crystals and told me some really interesting information. So that's there if you're interested. Also, I have an intuition training course and a tarot training course, which go fantastically together. In the intuition training course, you learn how to go to the spirit realm, meet your spirit guides, understanding how that the non-physical actually bleeds over quite a bit into the physical, and how those two, when branched together, can be used in a practical daily way of life. And in the tarot training course, it goes into the detail of how to jump right into reading the cards, simplifying the process but not losing any details of the messages. And going back to our groups though, we have 4 groups. Group number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to give you a moment to pick the group that resonates with you most. Now that you've picked the group that you're vibing with, you can go down to the description where you can skip to your designated group with its marked timestamp. But let's get started with group number 1. Group number 1, let's find out what's going on with your soulmate by looking at the cards. We've got, ooh, this card is giving me yin and yang kind of vibes. My spirit guide's talking about this too. We're going to come back to this. But anyways, the Devil card upright, 6 of Swords upright, 7 of Pentacles upright. Ooh, and 7 of Wands in reverse. Okay, before I even get into looking this over and going over the details, for anyone enjoying my tarot course, you know that when concepts or numbers or signs repeat, it's important to take note of that, because usually it's the card saying like, hey, this is extra important. So we have 7s here, and 7 is all about results from decisions being made, which is super on the nose. We're looking for corresponding ideas that fit the narrative of the question being asked, and that's very on the nose with what's going on here. But in addition to that, oh, fun fact, by the way, this is like a ramble within this, but 7 is actually not a lucky number. I was looking in the Akashic Records, I was working with my spirit guide when I was putting together this course, and they said that people think it's lucky because you make a choice and then that result can potentially be good fortune. You're being proactive, which is what we're talking about here. But, you know, you could make a decision towards good fortune. It doesn't always work out your way. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, that works perfectly with what's going on over in this general question. But just give me like 10 seconds to look over everything. Give me one moment. Okay, perfect. Okay, so these two are actually very similar in vibes too. So these cards are really important to each other. By the way, this is so cute. In this question in itself, we have swans and swans mate for life. I love that. That's so cute. So we have you represented both here in the Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. And in both cases, there's a sense of not being proactive. So over here, this is it shows me how you've worked on yourself, you're ready to go, you're ready for a soulmate connection, but you're just kind of waiting for it to sort of fall into your lap. And then over here with the Seven of Wands, this has the same energy. It's the opposite of going in for a fight. Instead, you're lying down and rolling over and kind of letting it happen. So you're ready, you're available, you are in a good place to be able to receive it, but you are not making, I don't want to say something too accusatory of like, you're not making an effort. I think that sounds too strong. You kind of need to put yourself out there more seek it, more reach out to the universe, go for it a little more proactively. But keeping that in mind, kind of interesting dynamic going on here. And I want you to focus on what we talked about over here, because we actually have your soulmate represented over here in the Six of Swords. They are, in fact, seeking you out, which is very cool. So the main issue of why it's taken a little while and it's going to take a little while for them to get to you is they're a bit in their own head. The way my spirit guide described it is they have some obstacles kind of in between you and them, and it's not anything you're doing, but they are just the type of person to be in their head a little bit too much. Think about it as a similar concept as let's say you're trying to strive to be in a more abundant mindset type of person, and you keep thinking you're not good enough or you're lacking or whatever, that type of thing. And so that's what you're sort of having reflected in your environment. It's like a similar vibe of like, it could be anything from maybe they have a lack of confidence. So they think, maybe I'm not good enough to receive, that type of stuff compared to where you're at. You're vibing, you're ready, you're available, you're open. It is a very yin and yang concept we have going over here, and this is what is represented in the World card. Now, keeping that all in mind, we can use this to our advantage, but help us better understand when it comes to not only bringing our soulmate closer into our life in our current radius, but something to consider going forward in life whenever you want anything to work out in your direction. So over here in the Devil card, my spirit guide said that there is a certain mentality going on here where you think that you were a victim of fate, that it'll just work out the way it's going to work out, that somehow, you're not in control, it will happen when it happens kind of thing. But in reality, you actually are not like these chains right here. There is no chainage. You can attract it and force things to happen, essentially. So my spirit guide said that what you're going to do is you're going to set this very clear intention. You're going to say there is no obstacles or boundaries between the two of you. That path is open, and you're essentially using all of this, inner magic, inner self-improvement you used to your favor to help them out, to speed up the process of getting them out of their own head, because otherwise they're going to just keep being in their own head, keep creating more obstacles as they're trying to seek you out, and nobody has time for that. You can be there to support them and show them and be more open in that kind of case and help them out. That's like where you're being drawn to one another. But anyways, way you set this intention is super easy peasy. I like to create some form of a fist and put it up to my heart. This is not the law or what you have to do. It's just something that it's like I'm showing myself, I'm setting a very clear intention. And then you say it, and you say, I am removing all boundaries and obstacles between me and my soulmate. And you're essentially clearing that path up. So again, it's not a criticism that you were not being more proactive. Now you can reach out more. Now you can set this intention. You're really putting yourself out there. But it's really interesting if you see here how one is being more proactive but is in their head too much, and another is available and very open and ready to receive. So let's bring these two little yin-yangs together and have a good time. So I hope you found this helpful. and you enjoyed it and you're getting excited, because let's speed up this process. Who doesn't want to be with the people they care about? And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, a comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps out like you would not believe. I'm wishing you the best. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 2. Group number 2. Let's find out what's going on with your soulmate by looking at the cards. We have... Oh my god. Oh, too funny. Oh my gosh, too funny. I'll explain why that's funny in one moment. King of Pentacles upright. 9 of Wands upright. Ooh, I love this very straightforward imagery. Queen of Pentacles in reverse and 3 of Swords in reverse. Okay, the reason why I thought this was so funny, it was in the previous group, they had swans, and swans mate for life. Well, guess what, friends? Blue jays, this is so cute. Blue jays actually mate for life too. And spiritually, one of the sort of like... representations that they hold is that they represent long-lasting relationships and friendships. So super on the money. And I can hear my spirit guide now saying this is the representation card that they are listening and they are there. It's like a... Okay, so when you're reading tarot, sometimes you're going to get, you can get cards that don't have a greater meaning. They're just like very on the nose, reflecting what you're saying. And it is a way that your spirit guides or whoever you are speaking to when you are enjoying doing tarot, the cards themselves, is saying like, hey, just so you know, we're paying attention. Just so you know, we're on the same subject. So it's super cute, super positive, good sign. I love that. So just give me 10 seconds to look at the details of this card reading. Oh. Okay. Let's get into this. So first off, I live for when my cards are very straightforward with how things are laid out. This is something I implore in your own readings. Again, if you're taking my tarot training course or if you're reading cards for yourself, there can often be a very point blank narrative. So we have you represented over here in the King of Pentacles. We have the other person in question, the soulmate, represented by the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, which, by the way, love that these are both pentacles. Beautiful, on the money. Love it. You guys are already on the same frequency wavelength as we talked about. We have what's going on in between, and we have what the two of you are bringing to the table. So the two of you are bringing this energy, what's going on over here behind you, and this is what's going on in between you. And now we can get into the specifics of what's going on. So first off, we have you, the King, as represented as the King of Pentacles, and my spirit guide was paying you a lot of compliments, saying that you're someone that can see the bigger picture. You can kind of see the more longer term concepts and goals, and have a lot of like patience and relaxation for being there for people and understanding when people need things they need to work out or whatever you're striving for. There's this, it's almost like this attitude of like, well, if my soulmate's coming around the corner anyways, then no worries. If my soulmate's coming around the corners, I got this. Like, it's going to happen. There's like a lot of positivity and maturity to you, which I love. And you're already bringing that beautiful blue jay energy. You're ready to go. Also, if we want to go deeper with the Two of Wands, which let me just ask if the Two of Wands is important at all. My spirit guide was like, you can go into it if you want, but it's not important. The blue jays are important. But Two of Wands in reverse is like, you've been, preparing yourself for a time period for your soulmate, organizing some things in your own life and some things in perspectives, and you're ready to go. You've been ready for a while. You're ready to take that journey. But there is a sense of relaxation about what's going on with you. Now, keeping that in mind, we have a different scenario going on with your soulmate. They're going through a little bit of a tough time, especially when we have what's implied. We're always looking for subtext. Sometimes when something's being brought up, it's like when someone says something and it's like, well, why did you bring that up? It's implying something else when we have the Three of Swords in reverse. So over here, my spirit guide said that this person is not currently looking for their spirit, not spirit guide. Do I keep saying spirit guide? Soulmate. So sorry. Anyways, focusing on to soulmate. They are not looking for it. They are a little bit more in their own personal world right now. They are specifically focusing on improving and being connected to their physical well-being. This could be anything because they want to feel more, confident as an individual, and they feel this will bring them there. Sometimes when we go through bad breakups or difficult experiences, sometimes this is a nice place to focus our energy, and it feels like a project we can work on and take care of ourselves in that kind of way, and they're in their own head. Now, the only, I don't want to say issue, but we'll just lightly call it that, is that my spirit said that they think they need to be entirely whole in order to move forward in that type of connection and, reaching out and looking for it and being open to it. And therefore they're focusing on their well-being, and they think they need to kind of have that on lockdown before they are ready to go the next step. We have that referenced over here, especially when we have the Three of Swords in reverse, which talks about prematurely moving on. But here's the big thing. Prematurely moving on after something really bad. This could have been anything from they were cheated on, a really unhealthy relationship, maybe just like a serious experience that happened in their life. Whatever it was, there's a responsibility they're taking on by not wanting to move on too quickly. But my spirit guide said that they do not need to be perfect in order to be with someone they care about. They do not need to be completely whole. In fact, they will find a lot of that completion by being with you. Not that it's your role to complete them, but just being like happy and vibing and living life makes them feel whole. Just want to be clear about that. Anyways, the rest of your life, you will be working on yourself and improving and growing and have your ups and downs, and that it does not need to be absolutely perfect to be together. Now, here's the thing though. In between you guys is the Nine of Wands, which might feel a little disappointing at first because essentially it says everything's working out as planned. You don't need to do anything other than trust that the universe will bring the two of you together through a series of events. You just, have that trust in the universe. You're like, don't worry that my soulmate's coming to me. We're going to run into each other. It's all good. But here's the but. My spirit guide said that you can, because I said, well, is the whole universe working itself out going to happen anytime soon? And they said, no, it will be a little while. However, you can actually shorten the time period of the two of you getting together by, I'm so sorry, Queen of Pentacles, by getting the two of you together by you can do this through an intention-filled dream. Or you can do this through a meditation. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit down and you're going to focus on the idea. You're going to focus on your soulmate. And it's as if you're sending out a message to the universe. You're going to be talking to them and you're going to say, I love you. You're perfect just the way you are, no matter how you are or where you're at in your life. I'm ready for you when you're ready, but you're great. You're great just the way you are. You don't need to worry about being a certain way or any way in particular. You're just basically talking to that insecure part of themselves and saying like, I love you. I'm here for you. I'm ready for you. Don't worry. You're great. You're good. You're good enough. You do not need to be whole and perfect for us to get together. And you're sending that intention out there. And apparently my spirit guide said that will shorten the process. Let me just double check if I'm missing anything. Nope, not missing anything at all. Cool. Love that. So, you're good to go. You've got that great energy. And plus, you can see, this is like a side note, plus you can see how great you guys are together because you're clearly someone who, like, if they feel like they mess up or are having difficulty expressing themselves, you're the person to be like, take your time. I get it. I see you're trying to figure yourself out. That's okay. I'm here for you. And I can see a nice smoothing of the process of the two of you together and a nice little combination, which is cute. Anyways, so I hope you're excited. Don't forget to do that meditation or intention-filled dream. And the way you do an intention-filled dream is right before you go to bed, you're saying to yourself, I'm going to have a dream and say this to them. And you're saying it right as you're falling asleep. You're putting that intention out there in your dream. You can even say, hey, spirit guide, could you help me have an intention-filled dream? And I want to say this to them, and they can help you do that. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like, a comment, a subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It helps out like you would not believe. I'm wishing you the best. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3. Let's find out what's going on with your soulmate by looking at the cards. We have Judgment in reverse, a gorgeous Judgment card. We have the Star card upright. We have the Emperor in reverse. We have the Chariot in reverse, and we have the Hangman in reverse. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm just looking at everything. I'm looking for details, so just give me one moment. Interesting. Okay, this is really interesting. It has a positive ending, but let's talk about a couple things because there is some stuff that is sort of, well, actually, I would definitely say the entirety of what's going on here is out of your control for the most part, but we can better understand what's going on with your soulmate so that you can better understand how you're not really doing anything. There's nothing really you can personally do, except be open-minded to unexpected events. We'll talk about that in one second. So first, let's start with what's going on over here in the Chariot in reverse. So my spirit guide's telling me that there are a bunch of things that are happening that are creating sort of a directionless type of, nobody's really staying on the path, if you will, or more so you're fine. We're talking about them. So let me focus on them. The other person, the soulmate, is not staying on their path, if they're well. And they're even trying to fight meeting you, if so to speak. Now, I know that seems a little bit like, wait, they don't want to meet me? What's going on? They have a bunch of things that are off. It could be anything from their energy to bad timing for them, with their own bad timing in their own life, mixed with bad timing with how things can line up for them to meet you. Things feeling off within their own stuff on like a spiritual makeup type of thing. Just a bunch of things that can be off in an indescribable way, you could say. Now, this is one of the main things that's sort of derailing them from initially meeting you and why you're like, where have they been? What is going on? Now, why is there so much falling off the path, trying to get off the path? Well, we have that represented over here in the Hangman reverse. Now, the imagery I want you to focus on is we have this tree over here, and this individual has their foot caught in the tree. Now, normally when this card is in reverse, it's like a positive thing. It's like they're breaking free of normally it's interesting when we talk about timing. This card revolves around the idea of timing, that it's just bad timing, it's nothing personal. Well, they are trying to rip free from this circumstance. And I said, well, why? Why is there so much motivation to get off of this path? And my spirit guide said that this person doesn't quite understand that things are working out in their favor, things are happening just as they need to happen, and it is positively working them towards you and other positive things. And so whenever something happens, because it's not in the way they want it to work out and they don't know or understand or connect to that idea of like where it's leading to them, they only see like, that's not working out the way I wanted to. I don't want that to happen. And so it's a lot of saying no to certain things that they should be saying yes to, opportunities presenting themselves up and then picking it, but then maybe not showing up to it, that type of thing. They're just unknowingly sort of fighting destiny, if you will, because they are only focusing on what's right in front of them, not the bigger picture. Now, keep in mind here, that's very understandable. They're trying to figure out what works for them now. And some people aren't able to understand that a breakfast bar you buy today will lead you to the love of your life tomorrow. You know what I mean? Those type of chain of events that are happening. I don't know if you can hear that siren. No, it's going away. Okay, cool. I was going to see if I was going to pause the video. I don't have to. Yay! So anyways, going back to this. So that's one of the reasons why and you guys haven't been brought together. They are straight up trying to pull away from even trying to meet you on a subconscious level, because they think they're being pulled away from what they really want. They're unaware that everything's working out in their favor, and they're actually being pulled towards what they do want, as well as, other good positive things. I did want to make this clear. They're not pulling away because on subconscious level, they have an issue with you and they want to sever ties. That's not what's going on here. That is a possibility that can happen with soulmates. Some soulmates might be soulmates in this lifetime, but don't need to end up together, or one of them is meant to sever ties in the sort of connection. That's not what's going on here. They are just unaware of the bigger picture, so to speak. Now, that gets repeated over here and here. In the Emperor in reverse, it talks about a lack of flexibility for them. They're unwilling to see that things can go different ways, as we talked about here. And in the Judgment card in reverse, it talks about them avoiding and not taking advantage of sort of the trial that's being given to them from the universe. So sometimes things line up in that kind of way, and when we take advantage of them unknowingly, we become either stronger for it or we learn lessons. Keep in mind, trials don't always have to be like really inconvenient or annoying or a struggle or anything like that. It can be just asking you to say, are you willing to believe everything's going to work out okay, and kind of sort of surrender what would normally be something where you need to know every facet that's going on, if that's the type of personality you are and stuff like that. And that could be the trials, like, are you willing to just say like, hey, it will show up when it shows up, it'll work out the way it works out. And they're being given this opportunity of being like, can you surrender to life and know that the events that are unfolding in front of you maybe are leading to something greater. An example, the connection between the two of you. And they're like, no! They're trying to pull away from it, and it just keeps following them, so to speak. Now, the thing that's really cute here, you'll be really happy to hear when we talk about a happy ending, is what we have going on over here in the Star card. So the Star card is so funny that it shows up, and that my spirit guide talked about them wanting to rip themselves off the path. Because the Star card is all about, like, you're doing great, sweetie. You're on the path. You are perfectly in alignment to where you want to go in life, your goals, and all that good jazz. So it's funny because even though they are sort of delaying and misaligning their process, they're still in turn moving down their path. It's like they can't break free of it. Now, my spirit guide said this does represent, this is so cute. So you might say, well, what do I do? What do I do on my end? My spirit guide said that your spirit guides are stepping in and going to make a bunch of unexpected events that might surprise both of you, because it applies to you too, right? It applies to them too? Correct. Wait, let me just double check. Yeah, my spirit guide's like, you're hearing me correctly. So things will happen for you and things will happen for them to bring the two of you together, because my spirit guide had said that the spirit guides want you guys to be together. So sometimes you don't always meet up. Soulmates don't always meet up. It just sometimes that's the case. And in this case, it's gonna happen. They're bringing you two together. So you're gonna be fine. You'll just trust in whatever happens. It's kind of being like, oh, I was gonna get my oil changed today, but they didn't have any appointments. I guess I'll do it 2 days from now. And that leads you to them, and you're pretty open-minded to that change. And them being forced to have the same thing happen and bring the two of you together. So don't worry, there's nothing really you need to do. Your spirit guides are gonna bring the two of you together, but that is why there has been a delay. What's been the issue? Nothing on your part. Nothing at all. They're just going through their own life's journey, and eventually they'll figure out what they need to sort of let go of and be more like trusting and attuned and know they're doing great, and it will all work out. So I hope you're excited, and yay, go spirit guides for getting involved. Love that, so cute. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, a comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. I am wishing you the best. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and let's get ready for group number 4. Group number 4, let's find out what's going on with your soulmate by looking at the cards. We have King of Wands. I'm already getting some strong imagery going on there. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. 9 of Pentacles upright. The 7 of Cups upright. Ooh, and the Justice card upright. Very interesting. Okay, give me one moment to look at all the cards. This is not a scary ooh. This is a related to the cards ooh. Give me one moment to look at all the details. Oh, okay. This had a couple surprises in there for me, which I love. Okay, so first let's get started with the Justice card. So the reason why I went ooh is the Justice card is actually related to karmic bonds and ties, which is so on the nose and interesting when it relates to soulmates. But it obviously made me ask more questions as how this specifically relates. Why are we bringing up karmic bonds? So my spirit guide said that sometimes when it comes to soulmates, things didn't work out the greatest in another lifetime, but the two of you still wanted to kind of give it another go and do it right, so to speak, in this lifetime. And that's essentially what's working out here. So that doesn't mean anything negative or reflect directly to the question at hand. It's just something to contemplate, that when you get to you two together and you're enjoying each other's company, remember, just because something wasn't working or vibing right, you guys were different people in another lifetime, different personalities, different combination. So as things are a lot more copacetic, I think is the word, you can enjoy the catharticness of being like, wow, we're figuring it out. We know how to work well together, listen to one another, be there for each other. And it's a lot smoother of a process and feels nice, because sometimes when you guys don't have a great situation and you move on to the next time, sometimes you can, fun fact, still technically be soulmates, but it's just not like one of you essentially was like, I still want to be soulmates, and the other one of you was like, I don't want to be soulmates. And you are more than welcome to cut those ties. That is fine. But you can also in some circumstances be like, we both it didn't work out that time, but we both want to give it another shot again. So in this case, you do, and so that's lovely and wonderful, and there's a lot of karma releasing just being together, which is really beautiful and cute. But we got totally different energies and vibes going on when it comes to the two of you, and we do have some sort of, I guess you could say, exercise, if you will, to transfer some of your more focused energy to this other. So this is to your soulmate. So this is your soulmate, and this is you. So over here, in the 7 of Cups, really beautiful, this represents this idea of choices. Like, you got all these different options. How cool. However, I want you to focus on the imagery here. This is how my spirit guide was explaining it to me. They said, see how they are not particularly focused or drawn to one fish. They are lost in the spectacle and the beauty of the entire imagery of all these beautiful fishes coming up to them. Well, it's a similar concept here. Right now, they are just flourishing and doing so well. They have all these options and opportunities, and they're just really excited in life. They're not necessarily picking one, but that in itself is sort of the issue. They're just kind of excited it's all there, but because they're not making clear, definitive path choices, it's like they're not making those steps that would bring themselves closer to you. Now you, however, have a totally different energy, an opposite energy, I would even say, when we have you instead represented over here in the Nine of Pentacles. Now this is someone who's not only focused, but they have been proactive about what they are focused on and goals and directions. This is somebody who is essentially killing it because they are able to, how do I say this? You are at the end point of your goals, like you're really flourishing, you're enjoying that you've been flourishing. So it's like there's a really positive, I can have to repeat this word again, but a fluency and flourishing when we look at both of these cards. There's actually quite a reflection that you're both thriving. It's just you're thriving because you've reached the end point of some like accomplishments, or maybe this is like self-improvement of some kind, and you're really enjoying the benefit of that. But then the next goal you have, you're going to focus and work towards it. They're enjoying that all their hard work they've done inside themselves is attracting all these great opportunities and stuff, and that's great, but they're not really now, sitting on their pile of pentacles, so to speak. So, and we're not talking about money here. We're talking about just the concept of receiving in general. So, we need them to get a little more focused, if you will, so that the two of you can come together. Because you're essentially locked on, you're ready to go. You're like, okay, I'm ready. I just need to know where I need to sort of point my focus. What do I do next? And they're kind of like, ooh, look at this. This is amazing. So the question, I forgot to answer this, but are they looking for you? Not really. They're just kind of lost in the spectacle of all their enjoyment. However, we want to give them a little more focus because it's going to be beneficial in many aspects of their life. So, in the Ace of Pentacles, this is you sort of handing over a bit of your focused belief system over to them, giving them a little bit of that positive push. And we have over here, which is really interesting, the King of Wands. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. So, fun fact, in the spirit realm, you can totally visit and hang out with the individual archetypes of each tarot card. I don't know if I've ever talked about that. It's very cool. I've known a person who's worked with the Hermit, which is very cool. Well, I'm being told that you are going to take this focus potential to the King of Wands, aka the King of Energy, which makes complete sense because in the tarot cards, kings are masters. They've got it on lockdown. They know exactly what they're doing in their particular subject field. That's what I want to say. And wands represents energy. And here's the thing. Everything's energy. We are energy. Our intentions are energy. And just by kind of vibing in an energy, it can make us more inspired. It can make us scared. It can make us more focused. And so what you're going to do is you can either go to the spirit realm, which I talk about in my intuition training course, or if you have your own method, you can go to the spirit realm and just say, hey, I have the intention of meeting up with the King of Wands. What's up? You go meet with them and you say, hey, here's some of my focused potential. Could you go bring this to my soulmate so we can get the show on the road and meet up? Or you can meditate with the same concept. You're meditating and you're in the meditation, you're sort of focusing on saying, okay, I'm setting this intention to the King of Wands. Can you please take your mastery of energy and bring this focused proactiveness to my soulmate? Could you please do that? And just focus on it. Just meditate on it for 10, 15 minutes and there you go. What a interesting way that you're helping them. You're both doing great, but we want to get this a little bit more sped up, if you will. We want to get them a little bit more making decisions and moving towards one another. So you can take all this great proactive focus energy you have and literally transfer it over to them. Now keep in mind, you are not transferring your energy, like actually transferring your energy. They're not going to take a bit of your energy, take a piece of you or anything like that. You're just showing them like, hey, this is a vibe you can get down with. Pick this up. So I hope you're excited to be together because you're both clearly going to be very prosperous in many abundant ways, which is cool. More abundance attracts more and creates more, which I love. And also I love that you guys are going to basically get a second chance to work things out between the two of you. Again, just to clarify, that doesn't mean work things out as in anything's like negative and then you're working out again in this lifetime. It's going to be a lot smoother. It's just that technically it's a second chance in the grand scheme of things. So I hope you're excited. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, a comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I am wishing you the best. I look forward to seeing the next one, and goodbye.